The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is The Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Dina. Welcome to The Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group. His peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome. Good to be with you.
Yeah, it's getting sporty out there, Dave, in the markets, but it's nice to talk to you.
Yeah, it really is. We have seen events explode on the world scene with Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. It's the type of event that we have been warning our listeners about for months. And on top of economic instability in America and around the world, we've had this threat of war hanging over us for the past month, and now it has happened in front of the whole world.
Yeah, a lot of threats, Dave. Not only that, financial chaos and disruptions in the banking system and all that stuff, and the need for people to diversify and the need for wealth preservation is more important today than ever. So we're just going to continue to talk about that and pound those points home until people wake up a little bit and realize that they need to play some defense with their wealth and their money.
Ken, that's going to lead us to my first question of the day, and that is, and we've seen kind of examples of this that you can refer to, what happens to Wall Street in times of conflict?
Well, Wall Street doesn't like confusion, Dave. They like clarity. And right now, there's just a lot of stuff that is confusing. Is the Fed going to move 7 times this year, 5 times? Are they going to move too much? Are they not going to move? Are they going to taper? Are they not going to taper? What's going to happen with Russia? What's going to happen with Ukraine? What's going to happen with Russia and the SWIFT banking system? Just a lot of confusion. And stocks are doing very poorly over the last month or two. A lot of people are going to get their quarterly statement at the end of March, and it's really going to start to hit home that stocks and Wall Street right now, the last 10 years of that joyride and that party, like you and I have been talking about for a long time, Dave, that joyride is definitely slowing down, and it could quite possibly be over for a while. But like I said, the need for defense is there. Financial chaos. You need a financial chaos asset, Dave, and you need a political chaos asset. And that's always been gold. That's always been strength. It's always been a hedge. It's always been diversification. And when you're talking about such dangerous, risky markets and dangerous, risky dollars, paper fiat dollars, and you're talking about a digital dollar, which is in the works right now, digital dollar, our financial freedoms and our privacy is gone. Protect a little of it while we still can, whatever's left. So it's very important that people understand that, you don't need to risk all of your assets in stocks or annuities or bonds. It's a good time to diversify. Take 25% of those paper assets and move it into gold today.
A reminder here that you are listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and our topic today is gold in times of crisis. Ken, Wall Street and stock exchanges around the world saw tremendous losses because of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. Has this event had a detrimental effect on gold?
Absolutely the opposite, Dave. I mean, gold is up 10% year to date, from January to, today. So in the last 2 months. So it's a political crisis asset. People are very concerned right now about currency. I mean, the Russian currency lost almost 50% just in the last week. And what else is out there? What other surprise? What other situation could come up where people are just totally scratching their head, and that would not be surprising to me. So, gold has done its job tremendously this year, but last year it was flat. So it's got a little catching up to do.
Hmm.
But we see much higher gold prices for this year, and we see much higher gold prices in the next 5 years. But that's besides the case. Most people who own gold, Dave, they don't even care if they make a lot of money on their gold. They just know that it's going to hold their purchasing power. They know it'll be there when they need it, and it's a part of their legacy, something that they can be proud of and privileged to own.
Later in the program, we're going to talk about the value of gold for those who need to flee a war zone or a takeover by a dictator. But first, let's review your recommendation about the quantity of gold that you believe a person should have right now while the value of the dollar is under attack. And you alluded to this just a little bit a moment ago. You used to be quite conservative, recommending only about 10% of a person's wealth for precious metals like gold and silver and platinum. But you have changed your advice on that, haven't you?
Well, yeah, and let's look at the thesis. We've seen record money printing in the last few years, and debt over the last 20, 30 years, record huge debt, which most people don't even understand what exactly is out there and the dangers of the financial system. So with that exponential money printing, Dave, we have exponential risk.
Mm.
And when you have exponential risk, you need more protection than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually recommending for people to take 25% of their paper assets and move it into physical gold and silver. But remember, everyone's a little different. So it requires a conversation. It requires consideration of what is living expense money and what's emergency money and what isn't. So it's part of a plan. But right now, to answer your question, we would consider more gold than usual, especially now, because the risk is that much greater than possibly what it was, 6, 7, or 8 years ago.
Ken, is it difficult to convert funds from, let's say, an IRA or an old 401k or even from ready cash? Is it difficult to convert that into gold that you can hold?
Well, I mean, anything is about, what's your experience? What are you good at? So that's what we do. I mean, that's what we've spent the last 11 years doing, and trying to build our name and help people and assist people getting wealth preservation through the ownership of physical gold and silver. So for us, no, it's what we do every day. But I don't think it's something that people should try and learn on their own. Some people call in and say, "Hey, could I get that free book you have? I'm going to try to learn how to do this all on my own." No, I mean, a book isn't going to show you how to do it. I mean, you have to do this for a long time. And you need a good doctor in today's world. You need a good lawyer. You need a good accountant. You need a good real estate agent. I also think that you need a good gold dealer. So it's very important. It's easy for us. It's what we do every day. We convert paper assets into physical gold and silver that you could hold on to. And we would encourage people to give us a chance to try and explain that to them.
I have that book you're referring to, and I think it is a good preparation for understanding precious metals, for understanding how they can help and what kind of precious metals are available. But I got to tell you, I would never, ever try to convert any of my accounts into gold without you. When I call Midas Gold Group, you walk me through the process, and you do so according to my particular needs, don't you?
Yeah, Dave. I mean, we love to sell clients, gold coins and bars and silver coins and bars. But when it comes down to it, we're in the business of providing information and education on the gold market, and providing great service. So we're a veteran-owned gold and silver dealer. We believe we're one of the top, if not the top, gold dealer in the country. When it comes to full service, we're not an internet dealer. We're not a call up and speak to a customer service person and pay with your credit card. That's not what we do. So we're going to provide help and hold a client's hand throughout the whole process, whether it be just converting some cash reserves to gold and silver, an old 401k, doing a rollover, doing a transfer of an existing traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, whatever we can do to help diversify people to get ahead with physical precious metals. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in. So it comes easy to us. We're more than happy and privileged to walk people through that. And I do believe that ownership of gold and silver, Dave, in a significant way will help people sidestep the next financial crisis. And believe it or not, folks, it's on top of us right now. And it probably is going to get a lot worse.
It is a major decision, and I know that you provide major experience and help in the process. A reminder here, you are listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is gold in times of crisis. And I have more questions coming up. But first, in just a few moments, we're going to take a look at a specific gold product that you can add to secure your wealth, and that's coming up right after this.
Your wake-up call from veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. You've seen the news. Truckers and their supporters were financially targeted. Democrats in the U.S. approve of Trudeau's protest suppression nearly 4-1. It's not hard to speculate they would support the same thing here in America. Gold and other precious metals add a layer of privacy and protection to your finances. Get private, get protected, get on the phone and call Midas Gold Group now. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. Our topic today is gold in times of crisis. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to visit our local office and meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD, by the numbers 855-322-4653. Ken, now we turn to one of my favorite portions of our time together each week, as we look at a specific gold product. And today, in light of our topic, gold in times of crisis, I'd like to talk about a gold product that we have looked at before, but, well, now it takes on even more relevance, I think, and that is the 50-gram gold Valcambi Combi Bar. You have stated that it should be a part of every disaster preparedness kit. Why is that?
Well, I mean, what's our topic today, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Gold in crisis, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could we use to help us deal with crisis? Well, how about political crisis, banking crisis, market crisis? We seeing any of that today? Maybe a little bit. So what can you do to own to help you protect yourself from that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even mentioned a dollar crisis, which is very front and center.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great product to do that. What I would urge people to do is not be so focused just on one product, be open to some different ideas, a diversified precious metals portfolio, especially as the demand picks up for gold. Some of these products, Dave, are getting very hard to get. So we have to sometimes take what we can get and be a little flexible. But the gold Valcambi Combi Bar is 50 individual stamped 1 gram gold bars, Dave, that are divisible. And kind of looks like a gold chocolate bar, you know, so you could basically break these off without losing any gold. So it's a very high-tech product. This particular product, because it can be broken off into small pieces, is very liquid in small amounts. You know, some people want to have gold in small denominations, and this meets that bill. Okay, especially when we need to use this as a means of exchange, maybe when paper currency loses its value or has no value, who knows, but we need options. And it's also IRA qualifiable, Dave. This is a bar that you could also put inside of your IRA and also hold on to yourself. So I would have to say it's just a total product that has many advantages. And if you can get some of them, if they are available, I would consider a whole bunch of them if you can get them.
You and I need to talk about adding this to the gold that I have from Midas Gold Group. My friends, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is gold in times of crisis. And I have more questions coming up right after this.
Your wake-up call from veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. You've seen it in the news. Truckers and even their smallest supporters are being targeted. Bank accounts closed. They rescinded the order under pressure, but it demonstrates just how quickly it can happen. Now you understand all the talk about getting everyone on digital currency. It's the ultimate power trip and control over you. With this tool, they will be able to easily extinguish the freedoms of anyone who disagrees with them. Democrats in the U.S. approve of Trudeau's protest suppression nearly 4-1. It's not hard to speculate they would support the same thing here. Gold and other precious metals add a layer of privacy and protection to your finances. Get private. Get protected. Get on the phone and call Midas Gold Group now. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of the Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. Our topic today is gold in times of crisis. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or the Phoenix area, we invite you to come and visit us at our local office so we can meet with you in person. For the address and the directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, you can call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. If you'd like to write that down by the numbers, 855-322-4653. Now let's get back to our topic, gold in times of crisis. Ken, as we watch the tragic events in the Ukraine unfold, we saw a mass exodus of people fleeing their homes, leaving pretty much all of their belongings behind. My question that occurred when I saw that, what advantage, if any, would having gold in their possession be?
Well, if you can't access your money at the bank, and they weren't allowing people to pull money out of ATMs, or what if there's seizure? We saw even the Freedom Convoy up in Canada. First thing they wanted to do with those poor truckers, freeze their assets, take their money. So, gold is money that you could hold on to. It's in your own control. You can fit $100,000 worth of gold in a small shoebox. So it's very, very convenient, and in many situations, Dave, where people need to flee, or a vicious government takeover or a conflict, gold may be the only valuable thing that they could buy their way out of danger with. Even we saw that even in Vietnam, where we have a lot of people that tell us that, well, we were only able to get out of Vietnam because we had some gold. It holds value, and when every other type of currency is losing it, not to mention what's going to happen with the dollar over the next few years, gold becomes that much more important, not to mention it's convenient and it's not heavy. Secondly, it's not an accident when people have to leave their homes suddenly. They take their gold with them, as a way of thinking about starting over. Gold has worldwide value that is established and recognized pretty much anywhere in the world. And the products that we recommend at Midas Gold Group, if you need to sell them in the future, obviously we would hope that you give us a chance to, to buy the products back. But you can sell them anywhere in the world or anywhere in the United States. So they're foundational gold products that are liquid anywhere. And I would say the liquidity and the value aspect and the convenience is basically why people, carry their gold with them or take their gold with them, especially in times of conflict.
So I want to come back to a point we touched on early in the program, where it used to be common practice to have about 10% of your wealth in gold. It is now advisable to have as much as 50% or more if you are concerned about the stability of conditions around you, right?
Yeah, and let's think about that a little bit in the real world. Some people have a lot of money wrapped up in companies or real estate, so your net worth could be very large. But if you have some paper assets, some stocks, some mutual funds, some annuities, maybe some cash reserves, we're recommending that based on your situation, might be a good idea to have more protection and more diversification today and less speculation. So 25 to 50% of your paper assets into physical gold and silver for some clients right now is definitely relevant and applicable. So I would say that, like we talked about before, the fragility of the world economy, it's obvious. I mean, anybody who's looking at this right now, I mean, you'd have to be, in another world or on Mars to not understand that we're going through a lot of chaotic events at this point, and things are starting to fall apart. Even though America, Dave, is not going to war, well, at least not right now, it's not committing troops to fight Russia in the Ukraine. We are now engaged in economic war. We are attacking Russia's financial resources, like we talked about before. Between the United States and the UK and the EU and Canada and the US, they plan to cut some of the Russian banks from SWIFT. This is very, destabilizing. This is not what money is supposed to be about. This is not what our savings is supposed to be backed up by. This is chaotic, and this is very damaging. And I have no doubt that Russia some way will try to retaliate, some way economically or maybe cyber. We talked about that 6 or 8 months ago, you and I, about all of this stuff, that cyber wars and the pipelines that were being hacked and food companies that were being cyber attacked. So this could do a terrible financial damage to both countries. That affects every single person in America. If we can't access our money, what are we supposed to do? So we got to have something on the side, something that we can go to. A sufficient supply of gold, Dave, right now could be very well the best way to weather this storm, whether it be political storm, banking storm, market storm, who knows what. But you got to have some sort of plan and some sort of defense. And I know there's a lot of important stuff that's going on, but when it comes to money, one of the simplest things that anybody can do today is to take some of their cash reserves or take an old retirement account or an existing IRA and convert some of it or all of it into physical gold and silver that will help you weather the storm in any financial conflict, in any political conflict, in any chaotic environment. And gold's been money for 5,000 years. It's protected assets for forever. And that's its role. That's its job. And today, it's more important to be diversified and to have a hedge than ever. It's more important that people own gold and silver today more than ever. You need to start that process or add to the process that you started a while ago.
Your words and what you're talking about. That is why I own gold from Midas Gold Group. So, Ken, thank you very much for your guidance on that.
Yes, well, appreciate your time, Dave, and sorry to get a little worked up this week, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and I got to be honest with you, there's not enough people who are paying attention. There's too many people that are asleep. Yeah. Too many people that have been trained. Well, just hold on, just wait. It's going to be fine. Just ride the course. Chillax. I mean, this is important. This is serious. We're dealing with serious situations, and people need to take serious precautions. And I would say that gold and silver should just be at the top of the list at this point.
That is going to bring us to the end of our time together today, all too soon, here on The Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. And a reminder here, opinions given are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. The Midas Gold Group, as Ken mentioned earlier in the program, is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. And again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group is 855-322-GOLD. I hope you'll not only write it down, but you will call as well. 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you so much again for your time together today.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. And just a reminder, if we're not available, leave a message and we'll call you back as soon as we can because we can only field so many calls at one time.
I'm Dave Dino, and I hope you'll come and join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.